Guys, what's going on? My name is Ryan. I trade ETFs and I like to make videos on the technical analysis that I'm seeing in the markets today. I just finished my GDX video. If you haven't watched that, head on over there. But we're going to be looking at gold, the actual physical metal. So here with the gold chart, I've got us started out on the daily. I spent a good long time on my weekend video going over all of the patterns that I've seen over the course of the last 3 years and kind of give you a sense for where we're at right now. If you haven't looked at that, maybe give it a look after this video. But I'm not going to go over that today. We're just interested in this midweek update. We're going to go to the 2 hour and kind of get a sense of where we're at. And we're probably going to breeze over this, but we had our impulse wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now we're setting in our retracement wave, which is the ABC. I predicted this measure move right here, brought it to the high, and it came down to about these levels. I set this box here as my target and drew these blue arrows indicating what I thought that the price would do. This also comes down to our 23.6% Fibonacci level. Just to show you what I was seeing in the Fibonacci, there it is. There's our 23.6 Fibonacci. I'm not going to leave that here because it complicates an already complicated chart, but let's go on to the 1 hour. So a couple interesting things going on here. We've got what I originally thought was this descending wedge here, and it very well might still be a descending wedge, but the only thing that would counteract this is this spike up we had right here, which goes through the descending wedge, and therefore it would invalidate it. But it's interesting to see that as price moved forward, we stayed within it and we broke out, and then we came to retest this trend line at a later date. The apex of our descending wedge is about right here, and this holds up very well with the theory of the wedge. It says that once it runs its course, it usually breaks out about 60% of the way, and then it'll come back to touch the apex before shooting off. So what do I mean by this retest here? So if we're just looking at these skinny black lines right here and forget about this bolded line, we come back here and we break out and we retest down here. So what's an example of a retest? Well, in theory, you're supposed to have this falling wedge and you're supposed to break out, and then this is your buy entry when it comes to retest former resistance, which acts as new support. You could say, Ryan, this is just a drawing. I don't believe you, but there's numerous other examples. If you just Google search, wedge retest, it comes down, and many charts have the same pattern as this retest and then a breakout. So I think that's what we had in this situation here, and it would go on to support my theory that our 23.6% fib would be our lowest low here. My first target was in this $145 range, and my second target was $12.35. And at the very start of the day, you can see that we came down to about $12.36. So from the hour, let's go to the 30-minute. On the 30-minute, the first thing I wanted to point out was this potential for a hidden bullish run here, where our indicator makes a low and then a lower low, while the price leads and makes a low and a higher low. This is a hidden bullish divergence, usually in an uptrend, which if we're just looking at this triangle right here, this would be an upslanted triangle, but our indicators are overreacting, and this gives us time to reload and give us enough strength for a significant run upwards. So this is the hidden bullish divergence. And what's more interesting is that we're starting to make what appears to be a diamond pattern, and diamond patterns mark strong either reversals or continuations. I'm betting on the reversal. However, I just want to forewarn that it could very well be a continuation pattern. We could see a lot more downside. However, we can also see a lot more upside, and with all the political events and fundamentals supporting gold, I would put my money towards a upward breakout in miners and gold. So one way to determine whether it's a reversal or a continuation is to look how many times it touches in between our support and resistance lines here. An even number of touches marks a continuation, and an odd number of touches signals a reversal. So what do we have so far? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We could count this as 1, and if we do, this would be 8, 9, and then our 9th touch would be an odd number, and we would break out from here. So an important number to watch on gold in the upcoming days / tomorrow would be for it to break out over this $151 range. But things are getting tight in here. We could see us pop up here and start to fall back down, and that would give a lot of reason to be bearish. This could also be chalked up as a head and shoulders type of pattern, but it's unlikely because we're in a downtrend, and head and shoulders always occurs at the top of a trend. But what I'm trying to get at is that this black line right here is kind of like a neckline for a head and shoulders. If we break below it, prices will probably continue to the downside, and if we break above it, that would be a reversal pattern. So moving to the 5-minute chart, last thing I wanted to wrap up here was this little cup and handle pattern that I'm seeing, and it's interesting interesting that I also saw this same cup and handle occur on the GDX chart. You come down, you have this nice rounded bottom, and we're forming our handle right now. This is a very teeny cup and handle chart. However, I find patterns on all time frames, and I never want to disregard a pattern just because it's on a small time frame, because this little cup and handle pattern might give us enough momentum to break out of this $12.51 resistance line here. And if we break out, I think that's reason to be bullish on gold. Alright guys, so that's my midweek update on the price of gold and the price action. And if you got anything out of this video, please like and subscribe. And I wish you the best of luck in trading gold and miners in the coming days. Take care. Bye.